Reuben had a train, ran from England to Spain. Couldn't get no letter from his home. Riding down the line where the sun never shines, feet in the cold ice and snow.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to night number 2 of our fall online old time Banjo Fest. I'm Brad Kolodner here with our co-host for the weekend, Kathy Fink.
Hey folks, great to see you all again.
I'm up here in Baltimore. It's a dreary day in Charm City, and I'm excited about some light and joy in our lives here with this wonderful concert this evening featuring Abigail Washburn, Nora Brown, Hilarie Burhans. I'll be playing as well. We're going to hear a tune from Kathy. For those of you tuning in all around the world, let us know where you're from and perhaps where you're watching this show from this evening. I know we have viewers from all over the country and beyond, so please let us know where you are, and let's share this stream far and wide. So feel free to post it on Facebook and lots of places, and share the YouTube link. And we've got all kinds of goodies this evening. What's in store for tonight, Kathy?
Well, in store for tonight, of course, we do have some skill testing questions, otherwise known as Banjo Trivia, with awesome prizes as usual. And we have an incredible concert. For me, it's so much fun to watch and hear other banjo players, and I'm really excited. I'm particularly excited that with the exception of Brad, all the people are brand new to this Banjo Fest. Abigail Washburn, who is participating from Nashville, pretty far away, and then we've got Nora Brown coming in from Brooklyn, and Hilarie Burhans coming in from Ohio. Yesterday we had people from all over, and of course I love Brad's idea. People post in there and tell us where you're from. Right now, I'm in Lansing, North Carolina, the original home of Ola Belle Reed, and we've had rainy, dreary days, but today was actually pretty nice. And in between the last workshop and this concert, I got out for a walk and actually communicated with the air and visited my watermelons. I have 15 watermelons, and
whoa,
they all have names. But my two favorites are Homer and Jethro, which have grown up right next to each other. Yeah, Marcy and I go out there every day, say hi to the watermelons, and pretty soon we're going to have to pop one open. But we did it 2 weeks ago with Justin Hiltner, and it wasn't ready, and it was really sad. We had to have a watermelon seed spitting contest from the front porch. I've yet to post it on Facebook, but coming soon, folks. So it's going to be a really great evening, and why don't we just, I'm going to give you a little tune, and then we'll get right to our special guests. How about that?
Sounds great. Yeah, we've got folks tuning in this evening from Chapel Hill and Wisconsin, Elkins, Missoula, Montana, Minnesota, Ohio, Detroit, my goodness, Tucson, Massachusetts, Stamford, Connecticut, Columbus, great. Fayetteville, Arkansas. Dang, this is one of the cool things about these online events, is that we can bring in folks from all over the place and experience banjo music, and that's what we're doing tonight. So, Kathy, kick it off. Let's hear some tunes to get it going.
All right. Well, I'm going to play you a little original tune called "Wake Up." right now and excited to help bring on our very first guest of the evening, who is coming to us from Brooklyn. And so there she is. Hey.
Hello. Hi.
Hey there. It's Nora Brown. And Nora, what part of Brooklyn are you in?
I actually am not in Brooklyn right now. I'm in Long Island, but
Wow. All right.
normally I would be in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. But currently I'm in Quogue, Long Island.
Plug. There you go. Hey, before you start playing, I'm gonna ask a whole bunch of questions.
Okay.
How long have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing old time music since I was 6, but picked up the banjo when I was 10, and I'm 15 now, so 5 years. Yeah.
Well, lucky you for coming across the old time music and having the kind of supportive family that wants you to pursue this musical love of yours, because obviously you have eaten and drunk it and it's all working and it sounds so great. Now, what banjos are you going to play tonight?
Well, I have 6 songs. I'm going to play 4 different banjos. So I have right here. This is a fretless gut string banjo. It's kind of a replica of a pre-Civil War style. This one was
Cool.
actually made by my dad in a banjo making workshop. And a lot of times banjos made in banjo making workshops don't always turn out to be banjos you want to play all the time. But this has actually become a real staple of whenever I perform. So that is one item. Oh.
It's kind of fun to know what the different banjos are and what their different flavors are.
Yeah, it's true. This one is a Gibson snakehead banjo. And this is my usual banjo. Whoa, my usual banjo. I learn most of my stuff on here, play most of my tunes on this one, and I love this banjo very much. Yeah, it's very playable and it has a nice warm tone.
And is that an original neck? Because it's got some frets scooped out, and I don't think they did that
Yeah.
in pens.
No, this is not an original neck. This the pot is original here. Which is
Gotcha.
this hollow pot signed by my buddy Lee Sexton, and this neck is actually made by Will Cedars, who is an amazing banjo maker. And he kind of so like Kathy was saying, banjos made in the snakehead style were all 4-string banjos before, so he kind of adapted it so I could play
I've
5-string
seen some
style.
5 strings.
Really?
I have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, but actually that's a beautiful replica. Okay, quick, give us a tour of the other banjos so we can get some tunes out of you.
All right, good idea.
This does not count as your performing time. This counts as my question time.
Okay.
And tipping people off to all the different sounds that you're making and why they sound so different.
Yeah, yes. This one has a very. This is this is a very loud banjo, but this one is actually not mine. I am being loaned this banjo. I was supposed to play it in April at the Brooklyn Folk Festival, but here we are in September, so I'm still holding on to it. I'll tell people a little bit more about it later, I think.
And that's kind of the look of a tubaphone.
Yeah, it has a couple of secrets that I will
Cool.
people know about later. This banjo is I'm sharing a bridge with my other fretless here, so it says no bridge right now. But this was actually my great great grandfather's banjo, and we kind of slapped some nylon strings and put a new head on it, and now I play it a lot. It's very fun. Yeah.
Well,
So-
I'm excited to hear your music, and everybody please give a warm welcome online, elsewhere, and in your hearts to Nora Brown.
Thank you very much, Kathy, for that amazing intro. And yeah, I always like talking about my banjos, so. So this is, yeah, now it's good. This is a little tune called Will Davenport's Tune, which was Clyde Davenport's father, I believe. I learned this tune from a guy named Joseph DeCosimo. Maybe you know of him. He's an amazing banjo player and fiddler. And yeah, that's the story. It's a really nice kind of simple tune, but it's got some complicated rhythms in there. That's really fun to play. So here we go. Thank you very much. Kathy, just so you know, you are not muted. Just letting you know. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I'm really excited to be a part of the online Banjo Festival. Yes, and so this next one is a little one called Wedding Dress. And this one I learned from buddy John Cohen. John was a great friend of mine who recently passed away. Sure, if you're watching the online Banjo Festival, I'm sure you know who John Cohen is. But living in Brooklyn, I could easily, well, it's a little bit of a drive, but drive up to John's every once in a while, and we'd sit in his living room, and he'd tell me stories, and we'd play tunes, we'd learn a couple tunes, and yeah, I learned quite a lot from him. This is just one of them, called Wedding Dress. Wedding dress, wedding dress, wedding dress, time to make your wedding dress. Oh, it's already made. Ooh, that's a little buzzy there. Okay. Oh, it's already made of red. Trim another round with a golden thread, golden thread, golden thread. Trim another round with a golden golden thread. Wedding dress, time to make your wedding dress. Oh, it's already made. Oh, made of brown, trimmed all around with a golden crown. Oh, yes or no. All she did was sit and sew. Oh, sit and sew, sit and sew. All she did was sit and sew. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. It's good. It's very good. Yeah. Let me know how it sounds out there. Actually, I can't see your comments, but then maybe Kathy or Brad will see it and let me know. But I think it sounds good. I'm listening to my headphones here. This is a little one called Miner's Dream. It's a Virgil Anderson tune that one of my favorite banjo players, actually kind of my favorite, but this is off of his record On the Tennessee Line. Highly recommend. But you can also find his music off of the Field Recorders Collective, where they got a couple of DVDs on him, and the Troxel Brothers, who a couple of folks kind of did a similar style of playing. Anyways, Miner's Dream. Just grab a little bit of this. I've tried out, my hands do get a little bit sweaty, a little bit moist when I'm playing, so I've tried out a couple of different remedies for that, and I can rate them. Well, okay, so you got talcum powder, which is obviously a very, rational choice, but don't always have that with you. So I've also tried dry shampoo and flour, which I have here because I don't have dry shampoo. And my favorite has been dry shampoo. It's got a really clean, fine grain, great texture, allows for a lot of sliding. Nice sliding. Talcum powder is also great. It's got a little bit of a thicker grain. Flour is not the best, but it does the job. So there you go, everybody. Use that information wisely. Okay, Miner's Dream. tune. Okay. Ooh. I'm right here next to my stove. Stove? Wood stove. Wood stove. So I was looking for that word. No, not that guy. This guy. Oh my god. If you hear some sporadic laughing, my brother is watching a movie in the other room. So sorry about that. Okay. This song is called The Very Damn Gone. It's an Addie Graham tune. Hopefully you all know who Addie Graham is, but if you don't, she was a ballad singer from Eastern Kentucky. I think you can find her recordings on Apple Shop, and yeah, she played piano, sang ballads, and a lot of her stuff is very unique. So sometimes not found anywhere else, but this is one called "The Very Damn God." She used to sing. All right. Oh yeah. I'll talk about that later. Okay. The very day I'm gone, you will know the train I'm on. You will hear the whistle blow 100 miles. If you say so, I'll railroad no more. I'll sidetrack my engine and go home. And if my mama leaves, I'll go back home again. 'Cause I'm a rambling woman, God knows. 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 Thank you very, very much. Whoa, whoops. Alright, so for this next tune here, I'm gonna do something I've never seen before. It's called the bridge switch. I'm gonna take this bridge here, take it out, and pop it in to this guy over here. At this point, I'd like to throw out a thanks to all those people that couldn't get good internet service in their own houses, so they had to go to the McDonald's parking lot. I know it can be tough. These brackets do come loose a little bit. As maybe you heard before, or maybe you just tuned in now, this banjo was my great-great-grandfather's banjo. That's a little issue there. That I don't really know a lot to say about it, but it is a Ludscombe banjo. It's from 1890s, from the 1890s, and we, as I said before, we strung it up and put a new head on it, and it's good as new. But here's a little one by Omer Forster, a new favorite banjo player of mine. It's a little one called Flower Girls. And yeah, this tune is quite interesting. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not like a lot of other banjo stuff. So here we go. I'll do my best. Got some buzzing back here. Sorry about that. All right, let's move on. Anyways, all right. All right, I think I got one more for everybody. So this last one I'm going to play is on a pretty special banjo here that I said I would talk a little bit more about in the set. So here we are. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. This banjo was John Cohen's banjo. And when I would go visit him, I would often play this banjo. But it was really the banjo that Roscoe Halcombe would play on most of his touring and recording stuff. So we call it Roscoe's banjo, but it was really one that, Roscoe would travel, by bus, by train, without any instruments, and then John would have this banjo for him. This banjo was on its way to the Library of Congress, and I was going to actually play it at the Brooklyn Folk Festival in April, which didn't happen. Weather, probably. And so I still have it now. Yeah, so actually, okay, right. It has been postponed to October. It's going to be online, much like what you're watching right now. Probably a wider variety, not just banjos. Probably. Who knows? Unfortunately, yeah. So if you're interested in hearing some more old-time music and that kind of stuff, you can tune in on October 23rd to the 25th. I don't know the exact details, but you can probably go to the Jalopy Theater, their website, and you can find out more about the Broken Folk Festival if you're interested in attending. And one more thing I'd like to add, I have this item here available. This is actually my record. Oh, can you hear me? Sorry. This is actually my record here that I put out almost a year ago. Yeah, I didn't really realize that. But this record is called Cinnamon Tree, and it, okay, that's better. It's available in vinyl form and in digital download form. So if you purchase this vinyl record, you will also get the download code. You can also purchase the download code separately. The records are letterpress printed. Everything is handmade except the record inside, which we did not hand make. That would be very difficult. Here we got the back here. It was put out on Jalopy Records. Love those guys. In fact, you can actually head over to Jalopy Records Bandcamp to purchase this item. You can also go to my website, norabrownmusic.com, and you can you can figure it out through there too. So, yeah, what else was I going to say? Yeah, there's some other more important things. This was actually produced by Alice Gerard, who hopefully you guys know who that is. She was an amazing musician and a pioneer of the bluegrass and old-time music, especially for ladies such as myself. So it was a complete honor to have her be a part of the process of making this record as producer. And yeah, that is all I have to say. There are 500 of these. There's probably about 100 left. And yeah, the end of this talk. Okay, let's go. All right, here's a little more music. And this is one called A Little Satchel. Fred Cochran tune. I know, I'm bringing it down. Whoa. Sorry about that. Under my bed you can set my little satchel. On my head you'll lay your hand. If you'll be my little darling, I will be your little man. Little girl, go ask your mama if the bride of mine you'll be. She says no, come back and tell me. We will wait till you get free. When you're free, oh, we'll get married. We'll go back to California, settle down and live at home. arms of my darling. I'll weep and mourn until I die. As you can see, I'm no little sparrow. I neither have the wings to fly. Well, I'll go home all broken hearted, weep and mourn until I die. All right. Thank you so much, Brad and Kathy, for having me. So happy to be a part of this.
Thank you, Nora. Wonderful playing, as always. Great to see and hear you, albeit virtually. Look forward to catching up in the real world out at a festival or a concert. Can't wait for that day when we can actually be together and play some tunes. So thanks again for being part of this, Nora.
And folks, as you saw in the comments, you know, if you want to help Nora Brown get a second bridge for that banjo so she doesn't have to swap in the middle of the concert, just put some money in the tip jar there. And if you just want to contribute to tonight's show, put some money in the tip jar. It's in the info's on both YouTube and Facebook. And Nora, I just want to ask you one question. It's about the torch video that you made.
Oh, yes.
Now, when I was 15, I don't think my parents would have given me a blowtorch to do anything with. On the other hand, when I was 15, I'd never seen a banjo, so...
I don't know if I'd give you a blowtorch now, Kathy.
That's a good point, Brad. I could be dangerous with it, you know, but for my 66th birthday, which was more than a year ago, Marcy did give me a chainsaw. But then she refused to let me use it. So, but Nora has a great little video on Facebook about using a blowtorch to dry up the skinhead on your banjo, and I was highly entertained by that.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Yeah, that is one of the many tips and tricks that in a pinch you might need to tighten your skinhead, which I have a lot of skinheads, so... Yes.
Well, you know, a lot of us have hair dryers, but we'll introduce your parents to those because they're a little safer than blowtorches. And meantime, it's great to hear you play, and thanks for joining us.
All right. See you guys later.
See you,
All right,
Nora.
see ya. All right, Brad, let's have a trivia question before we bring on our next guest here.
Okay, what do you have?
All right, here's the trivia question. Who is attributed to this extremely famous quote about the banjo? When you want genuine music, music that will come right home to you like a bag quarter, suffuse your system like strychnine whiskey, go right through you like Brandreth's pills, ramify your whole constitution like the measles, and break out on your hide like the pin feather pimples on a picked goose. When you want all this, just smash your piano and invoke the glory-beaming banjo. Whose quote is that, folks?
Okay,
Let's see.
I'm monitoring YouTube and Facebook.
Whose quote is
We
that?
have some.
Oh,
Mark
Janet
Twain.
Burton got it. All right, Janet.
Got it in just before Donna. Wow, that was a close one.
A close one. Well, Janet, you sent an email to info@kathymarcy.com. And now here's an unusual way to do this. Highly unusual, but I'm giving away either any of these CDs, either digitally or otherwise. Shout and Shine with, I can't see it because I'm on the Facebook page. There you go. Shout and Shine with Fink Marxer and Gleaves. I'm still on the page that I can't see. Wait, if I didn't have so many pages open, I could see it. Look, there it is. Shout and Shine, or Banjo Haiku, or Get Up and Do Right. And if you have all of those, you can have a Bluegrass Pride sticker or a Shout and Shine sticker. So I put my email in there, Janet. You just send something to
a
me.
copy of Banjo Newsletter. If anybody wants a copy of Banjo Newsletter, I've got a ton of them. And there's an interview with Kathy and I in the latest issue. So
Well, it's me interviewing Brad.
That's right.
Brad's the star of the show. It's me interviewing Brad. But speaking of stars of shows, okay, that was our first trivia question. And I'm going to dip out here, and Brad's going to introduce the next star of our show here.
Sounds great. Really looking forward to our next performer here. And I don't even know if, Hilarie, you remember this. I certainly remember it because one of the very first jams that I ever played in at Clifftop, which was kind of this eye-opening experience for me and was really the place that cemented my love of old-time music, was a late-night jam, I think at, I don't know, Harry Bullock's tent. And for those of you who've been to Clifftop know, Harry always has the most eclectic mix of music. And
Harry.
I was just wandering down there with my banjo, looking for people to play with. And there you were, I think probably with Jane Rothfield and Harry. And you all welcomed me in. I was probably 21 at the time. And you played the tune, The Silk Road, I think a tune you wrote.
Yeah.
And I just remember that being like, there were these cool twinkle lights, and there were all these people just like bobbing their heads and rocking out. And I was trying to figure out this tune. I think it was in G minor, if I'm remembering correctly.
You have a very good memory, Brad.
Yeah. Well, it was a pivotal moment in my just love of old time music and the possibilities with the music. So thank you for that wonderful experience, and it's sort of a testament to your welcoming and community-minded spirit and contribution to getting so many people excited about old-time music. And in fact, that video of you playing 4:30 with Rachel Eddy and a whole cast of characters, Stuart
Mark
Kenny,
Hellenberg,
I think,
Stuart
that
Kenny.
has, so many views. And I've heard of people just going to Clifftop because of that one video.
There's someone who came to Clifftop because of that video. I know, and then she didn't realize that our camp was where the dinners were. And she was in line for dinner, and she was in line behind Mark Hellenberg, who plays Banjo Uke on that 4:30 video. And she was talking to somebody and saying, yeah, I came here because there was this video. The only reason I came to Clifftop is, I'm learning to play the banjo, and I came and there was this video and blah, blah, blah. And then Mark Hellenberg behind her said, yeah, I 4:30, right? And she says, yeah. She says, wait, you're in it. And he said, yeah, and you're going to eat Hilarie's food. She's in it too. It was, yep. She always says that's why she comes. So.
Really excited to have you as part of this festival, teaching a workshop tomorrow on percussion and drive, and perhaps you'll mention a word about that in your set here. But I will step aside and let the wonderful Hilarie Burhans out of Ohio take it over. Go ahead.
Thanks, Brad.
Let's hear some tunes.
All right. Well, it's hard to follow Nora, but I'll give it a shot. I don't do a lot of concertizing. I'm sort of more of a jamming kind of player, but let's play a few tunes anyway.
Hey, before you get going, can you just slide a little to your left? The mic is blocking the banjo head a tiny bit.
Oh, yeah.
Just scooch over. There you go. Awesome.
Here we go.
Thank you.
sometimes 4, and sometimes 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 7, sometimes 8, sometimes 9, sometimes 10. Sometimes enough for the railroad man. Cluck old hen, cluck hen, squawk. Cluck old hen, here comes that hawk. All right. I don't have a family clapping group like Nora, I feel. Let's see. Play a little Doc Roberts, Short and Bread. Doc was a Kentucky fiddler, and actually, my husband had learned this tune from Charlie Walden, so I think it was like probably the Norman Edmonds. Anyway, he misunderstood, and Charlie called it the Irish cobbler, and I guess that's another name for it. And my husband misheard him and thought it was called, for a couple of years, he thought it was called the Irish cowboy. So. Well, Kathy had asked Nora about some of her banjos, and I'll just tell you a little bit, because I'm going to play 3 different banjos. Why not? They're all here, so I have a new banjo that's not quite done yet. It's going to be a cello banjo made by my friend Steve. It's pretty awesome. This is a Vega Little Wonder pot, in case anybody is interested, and this is a neck made by a maker local to me named Bob White. And I'm gonna grab this little puppy. And this is Mark Horowitz, old time, that my friend Steve put a nice hairy goatskin pot on. So if I'm not playing, I can pet it, or in a nervous making situation like a concert, I can just pet it for comfort. The neck is a carbon fiber neck, one of those ones that you can get from Gold Tone. It's an Atlas pot, and has the, I don't know if you've ever seen the flux capacitor, this neck attachment system. You can take this neck off for travel or whatever. You can adjust the angle of it with just one Allen wrench. It's kind of a cool system. course, if I'm staring at my tuner as if I'm looking at it, I probably should look at it. So I have two very good friends in the Charlottesville, Virginia area. And one of them is, I'm going to play a tune written by each of them. One is Pete Vigor. And some of you have probably heard the Pete Vigor, Quince Dillon, or Dillian, I've seen it both ways, high D tune. Well, Pete Vigor wrote a high D tune. So I'll play that. And the other is written by my friend Jim Childress. Kind of a funny story, actually. I was doing a banjo workshop in Berlin, Germany, and I think there's a Berlin, Ohio. No. And I asked, I needed a tune to demonstrate something that everyone at the workshop might be familiar with, and I said, well, what do you guys play? What is something you always play at your jam? And 3 or 4 people said The Road to Malvern. I was like, oh, that's a tune by my friend Jim Childress. So I got to go back and tell him that he has a tune that's very, very sorry about that. That's very popular in Berlin. All that. And I put in the wrong tuning for the tune I was going to play. Tunes I was going to play. So the first one is Pete Vigor's High D, and the second one is called Turkey Sag, and it's by Jim Childress. Now I'll remember it. right. In retrospect, it might have been nice if I spent one more moment tuning that for that tune, but so I'm teaching a workshop tomorrow, and I will teach a tune during that workshop. It's going to teach 5 miles of Elm Wood to use to then illustrate some of the things we're talking about. So I thought I'd play it for you tonight. Okay. Without a fiddler, I have a hard time starting tunes. So I'm going to teach that tune on Sunday in my workshop, and what we're going to be talking about how to make your banjo, how to not be typing the notes, but rather playing music. Oops. So all these banjos ring behind me on the wall, and I have to do various little things to make them not just be sounding constantly. This under the strings, also some bubble wrap in the back you probably saw fall out. So I've got one more tune for you. This is a minstrel banjo Stichter, I think, style. I won this in a contest on Banjo Hangout, and I love it. And these, if you've never held one of these minstrel banjos, they're so light they feel like they're gonna fly away when you hold them. And I don't play, minstrel like a stroke style, but I find it's an awfully fun. This is made by Bell and Son. Single girl, go and dress so fine. Single girl, oh single girl, you're go and dress so fine. Wait till you get married, you'll wear wax most all the time. Been all around this world. Hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Hang me, oh hang me, and I'll be dead and gone. Ain't the hang that I mind, it's lain in the jail so long. Been all around this world. single girl, you spend your days in town. Wait till you get married, you'll work till the sun goes down. Spin all around this world. Hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Hang me, oh hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Ain't the hanging that I mind, it's lain in the jail so long. Been all around this world. Lulu, open up the door. Lulu, oh Lulu, come open up this door. Before I come and open it with my old 44. Been all around this world. Going on the mountain, there I'll make my stand. Going on the mountain, and there I'll make my stand. Pistol in my pocket and dagger in my hand. Been all around this world. Hang me, I'll be dead and gone. Hang me, oh hang me, I'll be dead and gone. It's not the hanging that I mind, it's laying in the jail so long. Been all around this world. Thank you, folks. Hello?
Thank you so much, Hilarie.
Hi, Fred.
I'm here.
Okay, good. I
Just
figured you were there
practicing.
somewhere.
Getting ready to play. That was a wonderful set from Hilarie Burhans. She's got a workshop tomorrow, and as she talked about, and really looking forward to that. And your cluck is just so strong. It is so good.
Well, it's some people don't care for it.
I love it.
It's a powerful weapon. You got to use it judiciously.
Indeed. And great to hear you on the fretless banjo as well. Beautiful version of one of my favorite old-time tunes there. And hope to play with you out in the real world sometime in the not-too-distant future.
I know. We got a little bit of a chance before it all closed down.
That's right. Yeah, we were up in Cleveland together doing a Janie's Jumpstart weekend. That was like one of the last gigs I've had.
Yeah, that was, I think, the last real thing I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so many things canceled and so many things put on hold, but here we got to do this. This was great.
Yeah, totally. So many nice opportunities to connect virtually here, and hope to see you out in the real world soon. And we'll see you tomorrow in your workshop. So thanks.
Thank you. We'll see you then.
Yeah, and folks, I've been posting how you can sign up for Hilarie's workshop if you just tuned in and you're not signed up, so that would be awesome. Hey, Brad, I didn't mean for you to have to chime in there when I was supposed to. It just happened to be the moment of my sneeze.
Oh,
and
that's all
who
good.
wants to be online when you're sneezing? Not me. All right, folks, well, let's see. Let's have a quick trivia question. And then I'm going to introduce our next artist here, and that gives him a chance to do a little bit of tuning and stuff like that. So I'm on like Facebook and all that everywhere at the same time. Look at all this. There's so much love for Hilarie's music. I'm glad to see that. Speaking of love, if you want to express your love in the form of dollars and cents, feel free to send in some money to the PayPal, the virtual tip jar. It's at the top of both YouTube and Facebook. And I'll throw it in one of those as well. And okay, here's the skill testing question, the next one. The next skill testing question is, who said this infamous quote? "A banjo will get you through times of no money, but money won't get you through times of no banjo." Who said it, folks? Brad, you want to give us a little music while we're waiting and checking here? Just like a drone or something? Anybody? John Hartford, David Brooks got it on YouTube, and did anybody get it on Facebook? Nope. Okay. All right. So David Brooks, I'm going to tell you once Brad starts how to contact me, and you get one of those groovy prizes: a Get Up and Do Right CD, a Banjo Haiku CD, or a Shout and Shine CD, or one of the awesome stickers. And now, folks, the co-host of the online Old Time Banjo Festival, the third one. This is the fall edition, and Brad has been the co-host of all three editions, along with helping tremendously throughout the online Old Time Banjo Festival, which was really awesome. I'm gonna brag about Brad for a while, because for a young guy, he's got an awful lot of accomplishments. To me, amongst the most important is that Brad has created this awesome community of old-time musicians in and around Baltimore, with the Baltimore Old Time Music Jam that used to happen at the 5 and Dime, but now happens every other Tuesday online. And I think Brad's taken a little break from that for the month of October. Then it'll be back in November. But I think that between that, the Baltimore Old Time Music Festival that's happened at the Creative Alliance, and so many other events, Brad has not only become an awesome performer, an instructor, a teacher, a player, he's also really embraced the whole concept of the fact that this music is based on building community. And he is the star of the current Banjo newsletter, with an interview that I did with him, which was really fun to do. It's got a tab of one of his tunes, and he has a brand new channel on TrueFire giving some lessons. He also gives private lessons in lots of different ways. And I couldn't have a better co-host for these events than Brad Kolodner. So I'm going to shut up, and we're going to listen to him play some music. Take it away, Brad.
I'm going to shut up and listen to him play some music. That's a great intro. Well, thanks, Kathy. This has been a ton of fun putting these various banjo festivals together, and a particular treat to actually make some music during this concert here. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that both Kathy and I have done, and sometimes it's easy to forget that at the core of it is our love of playing banjo. So I'm really looking forward to this set. I'm going to play a bunch of songs that I've never really performed before, go out on a limb a bit, and just try a whole bunch of new things and throw them at you, and perhaps a bit different than other sets I've done, just because I'm playing solo here. Don't do that too often. I usually play with my dad or with my other band, Charm City Junction, but here just going to play solo and do a whole variety of tunes on a bunch of instruments that are all behind me here. So thanks so much for joining us. And I'm going to kick it off here with a tune that I've been listening to for many years, always one of my favorite, from the great Doc Watson. And I loved his guitar playing, and even though I don't play much guitar, I play a little bit, I've always been curious how to translate some of these tunes and songs from other instruments onto the banjo. And one of my favorite Doc Watson songs, and I know it goes way back, but the version that I first heard was from him, of Deep River Blues, here on Clawhammer. I'm going to give it a try, see how it goes. Thanks so much for joining us here. Okay, one moment here as I get all coordinated. Okay, Deep River Blues. It's a lot to juggle the tech side of things and also perform, but I'm going to try to get into the zone of actually playing right now. Here we go. Let it rain, let it pour, let it rain a whole lot more, 'cause I got them deep river blues. Let the rain drive it on, let the waves sweep along, 'cause I got them deep river blues. me back my old boat, I'm gonna sail it if she'll float, 'cause I got them deep river blues. I'm going back to Muscle Shoals, times are better there I'm told, 'cause I got them deep river blues. If my boat sinks with me, I'll go down, don't you see? 'Cause I got them deep river blues. I'm gonna say goodbye, and if I sing, just let me die, 'cause I got them deep river blues. Let it rain, let it pour, let it rain a whole lot more. I got them deep river blues. Let the rain drive right on, let the waves sweep along, 'cause I got them deep river blues. Alrighty, the Deep River Blues on clawhammer. Really a lot of fun to try to figure out how to play all kinds of different textures and sounds with this really strange style of picking strings. But this instrument is so versatile, and I love it for that reason. And a big part of my introduction to this music was when I picked up the banjo back when I was a 17-year-old, just going into my senior year of high school. And I went to a music camp up in Maine called Meadowlark and took a banjo workshop from the great Richie Stearns out of Ithaca, New York. And his playing, his soulful groove and a wacky and wild approach to the instrument really captivated me. And I just was hooked on clawhammer right there. I'll only could play the bum ditty after that first week, but it set me on this path of playing clawhammer. So I'm always grateful to Richie. And then I ended up going to college in Ithaca, went to Ithaca College, and that was kind of a coincidence, and took a few lessons with Richie and really sunk into the old-time music scene up there in Tompkins County in Ithaca, a great little oasis up there in central New York of old-time music. And I remember going to this little monthly jam at this place called Maxie's Supper Club. They had something called Chicken Fried Tuesday, and Richie and a crew of old-time musicians, Rosie Newton, Steve Seelan, would all get together and play this rockin' style of old time. And I just thought it was the coolest, most groovy thing, and that really hooked me on the music. And one thing I learned from Richie was this cool texture, this way of changing the tone of the banjo using this little piece of foam. So I'm going to do that here. This is an international debut, a tune I wrote. And with this little piece of foam next to the bridge, it creates this really cool kind of thumpy, plunky sound. Hopefully this comes through loud enough on my mic here. I wrote this tune, I don't even know when, but I've had it in my voice memos for a while and finally unearthed it during the quarantine. And I call it Ants in the Honey Jar. I think I got that name from being out at Clifftop, waking up one morning and realizing that we left the honey jar lid open and all these ants were in it swimming around. So we cleared out all the ants and still use the honey, but that's the Clifftop life. Roughing it. Here's Ants in the Honey Jar. world debut. Ants in the honey jar. I feel like every new old-time tune has to be some kind of prepositional phrase. I've been keeping track of potential tune names on my phone. I've got like hundreds of ideas now. Phrases that I'm hearing in real life, like cinnamon in the sand, or lobster on the ceiling, or I don't even know. So anytime I hear a weird prepositional phrase, I just jot it down. I've got hundreds of them by now, and I've only written a few of them, so I got a lot of work to do. Okay, enough of this banjo here. Change gears. Pick up my beautiful gourd banjo built by Pete Ross, who lives right around the corner here in Baltimore. A great builder, and built this beautiful gourd banjo. Of course, the banjo of West African heritage, and Pete really does a great job honoring the history of this instrument by building some of the most beautiful gourd banjos you'll see. And I really love this fretless gourd. Really cool to see a lot of fretless banjo in the show this evening. I'm going to do you an old song. This is an old cowboy song, perhaps one of the most well-known cowboy song. It was originally an old ballad about being out at sea. It was called The Sailor's Grave, or Bury Me Not on the Deep, Deep Sea, and sort of morphed into a cowboy ballad that we now call Bury Me Not on the Lone Prairie. One that I worked up just recently, and always a real haunting melody and real moving tale about cowboy's last wish. Has some pretty stark imagery. Here goes. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie. These words came low and mournfully from the pallid lips of the youth who lay on his dying bed at the close of day. He'd wasted and pined till o'er his brow death's shades were slowly gathering now. He thought of his home and his loved ones nigh, as the cowboys gathered to watch him die. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie, where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free, in a narrow grave just 6 by 3. Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie. It matters not, I've been told, where the body lies when the heart grows cold. Yet grant, oh grant this wish to me, oh bury me not on the lone prairie. I've always wished to be laid when I died in a little churchyard on the green hillside. By my father's grave there let me be, oh bury me not on the lone prairie. I wish to lie where a mother's prayer and a sister's tear will come and weep for me, oh, bury me not on the lone prairie. Thank you. Bury me not on the lone prairie. Gives me chills. All right, I'll do a couple more for you here. And I'm going to do one of the very first tunes I ever learned on the banjo. And I think it probably has some Irish origin, but it's pretty common in the banjo world these days. It's called Sally in the Garden. And I love this minor tune. I love the many sonic atmospheres possible with the banjo, happy, joyful, sad, mournful, all of that. And this tune definitely has sort of a dark and spooky feel. And a funny story about this tune, a few years ago, I was approached by a video game producer here in Baltimore area, and he didn't really explain much about what the project was for, but just that he wanted to have banjo and fiddle music, and just said, whatever you want to play, as long as it's public domain, we'll record you and a fiddler. And my buddy Patrick McAvinue of Charm City Junction and I played together, and we played Sally in the Garden. And it turns out this tune was for a video game called Civilization 6, which I don't really play video games. In fact, I haven't played them since I was a teenager. But this game is apparently quite popular, and our playing was on the soundtrack of the game during the America section, the early America section. And I just happened to be on YouTube one night. Somebody sent me a video and said, "This sounds like your banjo playing." And sure enough, there was the soundtrack of the Civ 6 America theme out there on YouTube, and it had like hundreds of thousands of views. And it's just my buddy Patrick and I playing Sally in the Garden and like Hard Times Come Again No More or something like that. And it was just kind of mind-blowing, just the reach of video game world. And it was really kind of cool to experience, sort of strange. Anyway, that's just a funny little tidbit about this tune, Sally in the Garden. If you go out and play Civ 6 and you're wondering who's playing banjo and fiddle, that would be Patrick and I. The places music takes you. It's kind of wild. Very grateful for that experience. It was very slow. We played with lots of reverb. It was really distracting when we were playing because it just sounded so bizarre, but that's what they wanted for the video game. So anyway, I'm going to play this tune. I love this one. It's called Sally in the Garden. Try it again. Oof. Ugh. Okay, here we go. Friday, Sally in the Garden from the Civ 6 soundtrack. Sounds so ridiculous to say. Okay. You know, I haven't touched this instrument here in years, but it's a beautiful banjo, and it's a wooden banjo. It's called a banjola, and I think since I'm in this mood of just playing lots of things I never really perform, I'm going to play a tune here. Wow, it's actually really dusty. It's kind of amazing. It's sad to see an instrument neglected like this. I'm going to play a tune on here. It's called a banjola. This was made by Goldtone. Wow, this is really dusty. This is a really mellow sound, so different than the other banjos. I don't even know if it's close to being in tune. I'll just do a couple more here. Yeah, I'm in... Oh gosh, it's like in C sharp. Well, that'll work. It's in tune with itself, so that's what matters. Hopefully that's loud enough. Maybe I'll turn it up a tiny bit. Here we go. Cool. Here goes. This is Coleman's March. There you go. Coleman's March on the banjola. Okay. What do you think, Kathy? Time for one more? I've not really been paying attention to the time, or should I call it?
It's time for one more, unless you'd like a brownie right now.
A brownie?
Yeah, I'm offering you
Oh
a
my
brownie.
goodness, I would love brownie.
All right, well, I'll pass it out. I'll pass it over after you do your last tune.
Okay, lovely. I could use a brownie. I could use some food. Not looking for sympathy here, but I have a searing migraine. I get them way too often. Probably looking at the computer screen too long today. And I'm doing my best to hold it together. I'm going to pass out right after this show is over. Let's see. I'm going to do... I'll do one of my favorite old songs. That comes from the great Cousin Emmy, who was the subject of Kathy's workshop earlier today on Lily Mae Ledford and Cousin Emmy. This one I do perform quite a bit. It's on our new album with my father called Stony Run. called Bowling Green. Feel free to sing along. It's a song about missing the place where you're from, being able to go back home. Always grateful to be able to carve out a life for myself here in my hometown of Baltimore. I really love this town, and such a joy to be with you here on the Old Time Banjo Fest Saturday night concert. Really looking forward to hearing Abigail Washburn in just a few. Here's Bowling Green, Before I Say So Long. Here goes. I wish I was in Bowling Green, sitting in my chair. One arm round the soul guitar, the other round my dear, the other round my dear. Bowling Green, good old Bowling Green. I wish I was a bumblebee flying through the air. I'd fly right down to my true love's side, touch him if you dare, touch him if you dare. Bowling Green, good old Bowling Green. If you see that man of mine, tell him once for me. If he loves another one, yes, I'll set him free. Yes, I'll set him free. Bowling Green, good old Bowling Green. I'm going round this whole wide world, going through alone. I'm going round this whole wide world, ain't got no home, ain't got no home. Bowling Green, good old Bowling Green. Bowling Green, good old Bowling Green.
Brad Kolodner, everybody. On Facebook and YouTube, I put the link to Brad's brand new album, Stony Run, with his dad, Ken. And that was an awesome concert.
Thank you,
Thank you
Kathy.
so much. Well, hey, I think we're going to ask one more skill testing question and then get on to the last act of the night. And here it is, folks. Last skill testing question. Oh, here it is. What all-girl band did Abigail Washburn play in? But it's a twofold question. You have to get both answers right. And who was the fiddler? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. What all-girl band was Abigail Washburn in, and who was the fiddler? I'm looking at YouTube and Facebook. And Uncle Earl, Raina Gilbert, Jim B got it. Okie dokie. Uncle Earl was the name of the band, and Raina Gilbert is the fiddler. Very influential in old-time music. Wonderful folks. Okay, super. All right, well, we're going to do a little magic trick here. Abigail Washburn couldn't play live at this time due to other obligations, but she sent in a video, and Brad Kolodner, the tech director of this gigantic organization, the Old Time Banjo Festival, which is basically Brad and Kathy, the tech director, and Brad is also artist instructor, and I'm also artist instructor. Basically, you know, if any of you have seen my emails, I wear about 100 hats, and that's what we're both doing this weekend. But it was a pleasure talking with Abigail and sound checking with her. And she has such a rich history of playing old time music, both with Uncle Earl and now in duo with her husband Bela Fleck, as well as mixing in some Chinese music with her old time music love. And she speaks Chinese fluently. She's got a brand new album on Smithsonian Folkways with Wu Fang. And Brad's going to push all the magic buttons, and then we're going to see some Abigail Washburn. And at the end, Brad and I will come back and do what we call a little handoff, a little closing tune together. So here's Abby, and thanks everybody. Here we go.
Hello, Fall Old Time Banjo Festival friends. I am very glad to be with you here in my basement in front of all of my husband's banjos. I do have a few of my own. I think I have 7 at this point. He has a few more. His name is Bela Fleck, and he's a pretty good banjo player, but he doesn't do what I do or what we do. We are old time pickers, and I'm very proud to be in this community. And I wanted to let you know that I have locked my children out of the basement. So this is a very relaxing and enjoyable time for me. I love them. I love them very much. But this is great. All right. So I am continually trying to be stable and, fairly upbeat, but there is a lot that's going on that's hard. And so that's affected my song choice today. And I'm going to start with a song that was inspired by playing Hop High Ladies, that tune. And as I was playing it, I just started really enjoying it and sort of changing it up a little bit. And before you know it, I was just writing my own song, semi-autobiographical song. So this is Hop High Ladies Hop High tuning. And this is a song I wrote called City of Refuge. Adam's on the roof and Eve is in the gutter. Eden's on the far side where the circle started. To run with the gods, you've gotta run harder. Run, run, run. Run to the city of refuge, where everyone is made new. Oh, the city of refuge, where everyone is made new. Oh, the city of refuge, where our burdens lay in the towns where we came from. Oh, and I had some tape on the bridge of that banjo, with it rising up just a little bit on top of the lowest string there, you can see, so that it would let the low string ring a little bit more. So anyway, in case you're interested, I like that quality of sound. This one does not have anything on it as such. series of tunes that started with Julianne Johnson, but the coastal version, as I learned it from a recording of Raina Gellert on her Ways of the World record. Of course, she's one of my best friends too, so I've gotten to play it with her in person, which is a pleasure. And then it was a little tune I wrote. I still don't have a name for it, but it's got the bring ding digga 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 digga. It's very pleasing. I just like to play that. And then the last one was Backstep Cindy, and it's the version that I learned from Riley Bogus, who back when I started playing the banjo when I was 21, I was trying to figure out what direction to go with my banjo playing, and Raina actually said, you know, I love Riley Bogus's playing. So I got in touch with him and I said, is there any way I could learn from you? And this was before the days of FaceTime and getting to do things online. And he said, sure, come on over to Walkertown and I'll show you a thing or two. So I went down to Surrey County, North Carolina, and I stayed there for a few days, and I learned a whole lot from him. And that's one of the tunes I took away. And he of course is a great purveyor of the ways of Fred Cockrum and Tommy Jarrell. And if you don't mind going with me to a, that was all in the open C tuning. No, I'm going up to Mountain Modal. I'm not going to do much fancy playing on this, but I did want to share a song that I learned from my Chinese teacher when I lived in China in 1996. I started speaking Chinese before I even started playing the banjo. So when I started playing the banjo, I already had this deep passion for China, and I've continued to play a lot of music with a Chinese influence. I mean, a lot of music that I play on the banjo is influenced by my love of China. And so this is one of the very first songs I learned. And I'm used to playing it with Bela, who does all the fancy finger work. So I'm just gonna play it. It's called 太阳出来喜洋洋. And it means the sun has come out and we are so happy. And I hope for that, literally, figuratively, and in so many ways in all of our lives, that the sun can keep coming out for us and lighting our way down this road of life. In this context, it's really meant as sort of the folk of Sichuan, or the workers of Sichuan and Hunan province. Those are two places where this song is sung quite a bit. And they sing it when the sun has come out, because literally it helps them climb the mountain, do their work, dry up the soil so that they can get to it and make some money and have some food to eat. So that's the joy that you hear in this song, or at least that I hear. 太阳出来咯，喜洋洋哦浪落，潮起变得浪浪在，光在上山岗哦浪落。树林那把路儿开山坡哦浪落，把湖把浪能在，光在上山岗哦浪落。走一山路儿又一山路浪落，这是出了浪能在，光在那山来哦浪落。只要我们落儿都轻快哦浪落，不愁吃来浪浪在，光在上山岗哦浪落。Ringing in my banjo heads. I don't know if the phone picked it up, but that's cool. Banjos! I love banjos! All right. And a third banjo. This one is in a standard A tuning. I've got it capoed, the 2nd fret here. And this is a song that I wrote with a band called the Woo Force that I'm in. It's It's kind of a combination of Chinese folk music, old-time Appalachian influenced stuff, folk music, early American folk music, and like an indie pop rock vibe, so like a Sino-Appalachian experimental indie pop rock kind of thing. And this is one of the songs we wrote that's more of in a song form, and I wanted to share it with you also because it uses 2-finger style playing and a little bit of different textures for the song. It's called Good Girl. I suppose at the time I didn't know the Me Too movement would be coming, but I think it might be sort of an ode to Me Too in Shanghai. She was born in a countryside town. Didn't want to let anybody down. She worked all day and night on the family farm. Papa said fall's coming hard, gonna lose half the corn. So I'm giving you fare for the bus to the county line. Find the train there, take it to the heart of Shanghai. 'Cause you're a good girl, always been Papa's little good girl. You're a good girl, always been Papa's little good girl. Her head grew heavy on the window of the eastbound train. Fields rush past, she's flying so fast, she's flying so fast. Train stops, first step, she's shaking in the city street. She's looking for the cousin of a cousin that she's supposed to meet. He says, I'm giving you fare for the bus across town. You'll find a restaurant there and work in the heart of Shanghai. 'Cause you're a good girl, always been Papa's little good girl. You're a good girl, always been Papa's little good girl. Good girl. 2 months straight cleaning floors on her hands and knees. She keeps her head down below the city dreams. Boss says, I know you need money to send back home. Got a long-time customer here, now go and take his arm. He says, you deserve better, you should keep your hands soft. A pretty girl like you can go far in the heart of Shanghai. 'Cause you're a good girl, always been Papa's little good girl. You're a good girl, always been Papa's little good girl. You're a good girl, always been Papa's little good girl. You're a good girl, always been Papa's little good girl. You're a good girl, always been Papa's little good girl. You're a good girl, always been Papa's little good girl. You're a good girl. She was born in a countryside town. Didn't want to let anybody down. Hope that cheered you up. It's me. Oh, me, oh, my, oh. Well, it is a absolute pleasure. I'm so thankful to Kathy and Brad for asking me to be a part of this festival, and what a pleasure to get to be on this show tonight with Nora and Brad and Hilarie, and I look forward to the day we can sit around and swap banjo tunes and play and tell stories in person together, but I am awfully grateful to have this way of doing it now. So thank you for having me, and here's a little ode to, well, thanks to Blind Willie Johnson for passing this song along, and an ode to our everyday need to just remind ourselves to be grateful to get to be here in this form, in the world, feeling all we feel and doing our best. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I die and my soul be lost, it's nobody's fault but mine. I had a mother who could pray. I had a mother who could pray. She prayed all day and into the night. I had a mother who could pray. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I die and my soul be lost, nobody's fault but mine. I had a mother who could read. I had a mother who could read. She read all day and into the night. I had a mother who could read. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I die and my soul be lost, nobody's fault but mine. I had a mother who could sing. I had a mother who could sing. She sang all day and into the night. I had a mother who could sing. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I die and my soul be lost, nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I die and my soul be lost, nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I die and my soul be lost, if I die and my soul be lost, if I die, nobody's fault but mine. If you want to hang out some more, tomorrow I'll have a banjo workshop at 11 o'clock my time, noon Eastern. And I hope I see you there, and all the best, my friends.
Wow,
Awesome.
wonderful singing and playing as always from the great Abigail Washburn, one of the first banjo players I ever heard. Uncle Earl got me into old time music, among many other groups back in the day, in the early 2000s.
And of
Always
course,
great to hear.
her whole history with Raina Gellert, who is one of the finest old time fiddlers ever, and she's become quite an awesome songwriter as well. So we've been putting out the call in case Hilarie Burhans is still with us and wants to join us, but Brad and I are going to do a little closing handoff, and this is usually kind of it's what we call a game of chance here. Brad, I figured out, it took me a long time, but I figured out why you're able to get so much closer to your microphone. It's because you hold your banjo up here.
I do,
And when my banjo's down here, I just can't do
I
that.
put my banjo on my right hip, so it sits a little higher. Yeah, it sits right here.
Oh, there's a nice little.
I also have a little resonator on the back of my banjo, which helps project the sound.
All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining us. If you got to the tip jar, that's great. If you are one of those unfortunate people who have been out of work and you just came and enjoyed the music without a tip jar, that's also great. We're happy to have you. We have 3 workshops tomorrow. All that info is in all the chat for everything. And it's been a really wonderful evening of music. A great big thank you again to Nora Brown, to Hilarie Burhans, to Brad, and of course to Abigail Washburn. We look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. And so, Brad, what did we decide on? Julianne Johnson?
Let's do Julianne Johnson. We're going to do a little trade-off here. And for those of you still tuning in, this is kind of like a morbid curiosity moment where you're just like, is this going to be a train wreck? Because it might be. But either way, I think it'll be entertaining and a little heart-pounding for us at least.
Yeah, it's heart pounding because somehow we have to turn on or off something. I'm just going to keep all my stuff on. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And we'll probably, let's see, I'll bend over and move back a little bit. And Brad, you kick this off. Is this the one that goes, is that the right tune?
It goes Julianne Johnson. It's this one.
Which one is it? Gotcha. Okay, cool. Actually, it might be the opening tune on my album Banjo Haiku, but I made that in 1992. How am I supposed to remember?
I was 2 years old, so yeah.
There you go. All right, kick it off.
Here you go. more time. Take us
Last
out.
time. Here we go. We have
Alrighty.
no idea whether that worked or not, but folks, we gave it a whirl.
We'll find out in the comments section, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. Have a good evening. You can still sign up for tomorrow's workshops. And Brad and I are also looking forward to the jam session tomorrow night for the Weekend Pass people. Have a great rest of the night. Thanks.
See you tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Thanks for contributing and supporting the online Old Time Banjo Fest.